Under the topic energy resources, we have studied about the non-renewable energy resources in the previous class. Now we will start with the renewable energy resources. The renewable energy resources are also called as non-conventional energy resources. Renewable energy resources are renewed or replaced or restored by nature in short span of time. That is, these renewable energy resources can be used again and again throughout its lifetime. Often these are available continuously like solar energy, water, wind, biomass, etc. We will see in detail about each type of renewable energy resources in detail. Even though there are many advantages over non-renewable energy resources, there are also some disadvantages. The one major disadvantage of non-renewable energy is that it is time consuming. That is the complete process, starting from mining of a coal, searching for oil, drilling, inserting pipes and extracting the natural gases are very time consuming process, and also it takes a lot of effort. And another main disadvantage is that it can be dangerous and cause respiratory problems to humans because sources like fossil fuels, when they are burnt, they emit gases such as carbon monoxide. We know that non-renewable energy takes billions of years in their formation. They are slowly but gradually depleting or vanishing from Earth. Now we will see how renewable energy resources overcomes the disadvantages of non-renewable energy resources. The renewable energy resources are renewed or can be easily restored by nature in a short period of time. Under the renewable energy resources, first we will see about hydropower. Hydropower or hydroelectricity refers to the conversion of energy from flowing water into electricity. That is, electricity is generated from the flow of water. It is considered a renewable energy resource because the water cycle is constantly renewed by the sun. So we know about the water cycle. The water bodies gets heated up by the sun's rays and they evaporate and cools up and condenses and later precipitates down as rainfall. So here the water cycle is constantly renewed. So therefore it is called as a renewable energy resource. Power generated from water is termed as hydroelectricity. Hydropower is the energy harnessed from running water. That is, hydropower is the energy generated from running water. Hydropower is considered as one of the most economic and non-polluting sources of energy. So it is very economic, easy to maintain, and therefore it is non-polluting. So there is no gas emission. So therefore it does not cause any pollution. It contributes nearly 7% of global electricity production. The cost of production of hydroelectricity is relatively low, making it a competitive source of renewable energy. It is also flexible mode of power generation, as the quantity of production may either be increased or decreased, very quickly adapting to changing demands. So the power generated through the process of hydropower The quantity of production of electricity can be either increased or decreased based on the demands. We know dams are constructed across the rivers in order to control flood, store water, and also produce electricity by constructing an hydropower plant nearby the dam. Hydro plants produce electricity using turbines and generators. Electricity is also generated from the natural flow of water. India has a large potential of hydropower potential. It is unevenly distributed in India. Of the total hydroelectric potential of the country, the rivers of Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, Manipur, Nagaland, and Tripura account for 30.4% of total hydroelectric potential of the country. And the eastward flowing rivers of the South India, that is the peninsular India, accounts for 20.9% of the total hydroelectric potential of the country. Westward flowing rivers of the Western Ghats contributes 10.5% and the Ganga basin, excluding the potential of Nepal, contributes about 11.7%. The Indus basin contributes 16% and the rivers of central India contributes 10.5% of the total hydroelectric potential of the country. The first hydroelectric power station in India was established at Darjeeling in the year 1897. Solar energy. Solar power is the conversion of a sunlight into electricity, either directly using photovoltaics, that is PV, or indirectly using concentrated solar power, that is CSP. Concentrated solar power system use lenses or mirrors and tracking system to focus a large area of sunlight into a small beam. As you can see in the picture here, the concentrating solar power plants use mirrors or lenses to concentrate the sun's energy to drive the turbines, which in turn creates electricity. Thus, the thermal energy that is concentrated in a CSP plant can be stored and used to produce electricity when it is needed. The second method is photovoltaic, which converts light into electric current using the photovoltaic effect. The responsibility of Ministry of Non-Conventional Energy Source (MNES) are market development, commercialization, and utilization of heat energy requirement for different applications in domestic, institutional, and industrial sectors. Solar power is used in water heaters, refrigerators, drying, street lighting, cooking, pumping, power generator, photovoltaic cells, salon parts, etc. Andhra Pradesh, Gujarat, Rajasthan, Maharashtra, and Madhya Pradesh are the major solar power producers. Solar Energy Corporation of India Limited. It is located with its headquarters at New Delhi. Wind energy. Wind energy is extracted from airflow using wind turbines. It is a cheap and pollution-free source of energy. Power from windmills are used for pumping water and to sail propel ships. Wind power is plentiful, renewable, widely distributed, clean, and produces no greenhouse gas emissions during operation. These plants occupy only a less space. So, therefore, this wind power does not cause any harm to the humans and also to the environment. It is pollution free. The development of wind power in India began in 1986. The first wind farms were set up in the coastal areas of Gujarat, Maharashtra, and Tamil Nadu with 55 kilowatts Vestas wind turbines. Here, the Vestas means it is a wind turbines manufacturing company. So, the wind farms which were set up in Gujarat, Maharashtra, and Tamil Nadu generated electricity of about 55 kilowatts. In the last few years, the capacity of the power generated by the wind turbines has increased significantly. India has the fourth largest installed wind power capacity in the world. Tamil Nadu has the largest installation of wind turbines in the country. The wind farm is set up in the area Muppandal in Perungudi near Kanyakumari. It is the largest concentration of wind farm capacity at a single location in the world. The National Institute of Wind Energy NIWE, Chennai, was established in Tamil Nadu in the year 1998 as an autonomous institution under the administrative control of the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. That is, NIWE is an institute that is an autonomous institution which was established in the year 1998 under the administrative control of the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. The main activities of CIWE includes resource assessment and testing and certification. Biomass energy. Bioenergy may be obtained through biodegradable materials like animal dung, kitchen waste, water hyacinth, agricultural residues, and city waste, etc. Biodegradable means the substances which are capable of being decomposed by bacteria or other living organisms is called as biodegradable materials. Biodegradable material in Tamil it is called as Makkum Portkal. These biodegradable materials are burnt in a combustor or a furnace to generate hot gas, which in turn runs the turbine to produce mechanical or electrical energy. As we have seen earlier, the biomass comes from a variety of sources which includes agricultural residues, animal waste, forestry residues, wood waste, industrial waste, municipal solid waste, and also water hyacinth, which is the water plant. Floating water plant is the water hyacinth, etc. So these are some of the sources of biomass. It is a clean and cheap source of energy. India has a potential of about 18 gigawatts of energy from biomass. Currently, about 32% of total primary energy used in India is derived from biomass. So, about 32% of the total energy used in India is derived from biomass. Energy derived from biomass is mostly used for domestic purpose. That is the household purpose. Tidal and wave energy. First, we have to understand what is meant by a tides and waves. Tides are the rise and fall of sea level. It is caused by the gravitational force exerted by the moon and the sun and also by the rotation of the earth. Waves. Waves are caused by winds. There are two main sources of ocean energy. They are ocean tides and ocean waves. First, we will see what is meant by ocean tides and how the tidal energy is generated. Turbines are installed below the sea level. We know that the tides come in and again when it goes out, the turbines are driven by the power of the sea in both directions. And this is how the power is generated by the ocean tides. Wave energy is the transport and capture of energy by ocean surface waves. The energy captured are then used for different kinds of useful work like electricity generation, water desalination, and pumping of water. It is estimated that India possesses about 8,000 to 9,000 megawatts of tidal energy potential. The Gulf of Cambay is the best suited area with about 7,000 megawatt potential of tidal energy. This is followed by Gulf of Kutch with 1000 megawatts and Sundarbans with 100 megawatts. At present, a 900 megawatt tidal power is proposed to be set up in the Gulf of Kutch region. The wave energy potential in India estimated to be 40,000 megawatt. So the overall wave energy potential in India is estimated to be 40,000 megawatt, and wave energy power plant of 150 kilowatt has been installed at Viringam near Thiruvananthapuram, and another power plant of this kind has been set up near Andaman and Nicobar Islands.